A very good evening to you, friends and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot. It is 1700 hours Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City. Want to welcome you, all of you guys in chat, to this live stream. And today we are going to be flying the pencil plane, as it is called, no other than the flight factor Boeing 757 service from Charles de Gaulle to Nice in France. This is going to be a regional flight, and it should be an interesting flight as the approach into Nice today is through runway 22 left, which is an RNP approach. So it is a good test for the aircraft, and let's see how it handles this. I haven't done this before, so let's see how well I do on the approach and landing. And we have Doug Lyons. Welcome to Captain, and thank you very much for the support from all of you guys. Really appreciate it, Doug. Appreciate it, and welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here this evening. Okay, so we are currently looking at the latest version of the 757 by Flight Factor. We are flying the Air France livery this evening, and as you can see, the SAM gates are connected to both of the aircraft doors, which is always a nice thing to see in X-Plane. The aircraft has received several updates in terms of its textures, its systems, and some of the bug fixes, ironing out some of the issues that the aircraft had with the ever-changing X-Plane. So this is the most compatible, probably, version with the latest version of X-Plane. The cockpit, I've noticed that the displays do not look very good here, as you can see. I mean, I do get what they were trying to do, but the reflections are just really bad on this iteration of the aircraft. I do love the overhead panel on the Flight Factor 757 and 767. And with that, let me bring up the Navigraph charts here today for our flight. We are going to be departing from Charles de Gaulle, runway 09 right through the latter 6 kilo departure. We are going to be cruising at 37,000 feet and arriving into Nice at runway 22 right, beg your pardon, not left, through the Nice 7 Tango arrival. This is an RNP approach, so if we look at 27 right here, 22 right, you can see that this is an RNP approach. So I haven't really done this approach before. I always get, coincidentally, I always get 04 left, which is an ILS, but this one is actually quite a challenging approach here, as you can see. You can see here there's a very sharp turn into the runway. So this is kind of a difficult approach, but it should add to the fun for our flight today, and it should make for an interesting arrival as well, with the beautiful night lighting over at Nice in France. So with that out of the way, let's get things started here. We're going to bring up the electronic flight bag. And let me see here. Let me see. We can't make it bigger, can we? Yeah, we do. We can. All right, let me make this bigger so you guys can also follow along. All right, so we're going to remove real limits. No, let's leave real limits. The real time we don't need. Next, we're going to go, we are at the gate, so we're going to go to the ground gate configuration. We're going to need the fuel truck and the GPU. And next, we can set up the load and balance. So let's come over here, go to our flight plan, and let's see here. Good day. How's it going? It's going great, Max. Do they look correct, really? Well, I don't know. Maybe they do. Okay. So let's scroll down here and take a look. We have 100 passengers on board today. So let's update that to 100. And the cargo is 2,500. Now for the fuel, it says that the block fuel is 7.8, so rounding this to 8,000. But for some reason, I always get the message insufficient fuel with the 757, the 757 and the 767. I really am not sure why. So I'm going to crank this up to 10,000. All right. And we are going to say optimize center of gravity. And now we're going to say load plane. Loading plane, please wait. Okay, perfect. So now that the plane is being loaded, let's head over to the overhead panel. We're going to turn on the battery switch on, and I'm using the Mango Studio Sound Pack, standby power to auto, and we're going to turn on the external power. Bus ties can go on, utility buses are on, and we're going to turn on the hydraulic pumps. Right, all is good here, and while we're at it, we're going to turn on the APU gen, and we're going to start the APU. All right, perfect. I think I disabled X camera. All right, so I re-enabled it again. All right, perfect. So APU is starting. We're going to come up here, arm the emergency lights. We're going to set the ADIRS to nav. All right, there we go. And moving down here, we'll leave the fuel pump. We'll press this one here for the APU. Everything looks good, and the window heat is on. This goes to USB, non-smoking, and fasten seatbelt signs. The cabin altitude is set to auto. And let's see here. Everything here looks good. We're going to move over here, and we're going to set the air conditioning system to auto for all parts of the aircraft, flight deck, cabin, and the aft cabin. Trim air is on, pre-circ fans are on, and we'll leave the packs on auto. Isolation valve on, APU bleed is on, and now that is going to take care of our entry doors. We can see that is open, and everything else here is good. Perfect. Okay, so we haven't forgotten anything. Position lights are on, and next we are actually going to turn these on as well. Okay. All right, so everything is good here, and next we are going to come here and test the oxygen. I don't think there is an oxygen test, but you can put the mask on, which is kind of cool. All right, so very dated aircraft, if you ask me, guys. Really, they haven't. I mean, they are updating the aircraft. They're keeping it current. But nothing really much in terms of improvement or bringing new features to it, which is kind of a bummer. All right, so auto for the VOR DME switches here, and we are going to come down here, make sure everything here is okay. Let's just this here, just make sure there we go. ILS works, perfect, and that's okay. All right, perfect. Now we can go to the MCDU and set things up here. Let me bring this up again so you guys can take a look at what I'm doing. Let me make this bigger. Now I can't move it. All right, there we go. Let me bring up the Navigraph charts. We'll put it on the side here so you guys can follow along. Okay, we are going to go to the FMC. We're going to make sure that the current nav data is current. And we are going to go to position in it. We are currently at LFPG reference airport. We're going to select the current GPS position. Next, we're going to go to route LFPG to LFMN. We are Air France 300. This is a real-world flight, by the way, by Air France to Nice. So we are going to put the flight number here. Okay, I see you're flying with the upgraded display variant. Just a question here. I just need a question my eyes like, why is who hates those classical displays? But I'm not saying you're not good. Okay. All right, so let's go to the departure. We are departing 09er right, and it is the ladder 6. All right, so that would be the ladder 6 kilo departure. Next, we're going to go to the routes, go to the next page, and from Latra, we're going to fly direct to Lamut. Now, you can download the flight plan from SimBrief. So this is Lamut. Now, I'm not sure if this is the correct one, though, but we can check probably from the legs page. Let's see here, Lamut. 61 nautical miles. Yeah, that looks okay. All right, let's go back to the route page. All right, from Lamut, we're going to fly direct to Yotuva, or Atuva. Tuva. All right. And then we're going to fly direct to Lurga. Lurga. Perfect. Next up, we are going to fly Uniform Yankee. No, we're going to fly Liquid. Liquid. There we go. Oop, that's not right. There we go. That's better. And then Uniform Yankee 30 Airway. And we're going to exit at Latam. And finally, so this is Latam. And then Uniform Yankee 22. Uniform Yankee 22 Airway. And the exit is at Nisar. Nisar. Brilliant. And finally, it's the arrival into Nice. So the arrival today is going to be through the Nice 7 Tango, which is this one here. And it's the ILS. No, that's not the ILS. It's going to be the... oh, we don't have the other approaches, do we? Ah, let's see. So we have the RNAV 22 left. We have the RNAV 22 right, RD. Which one do we pick? 22 right, so there's two of them here. We're going to take the RNAV 22, this one here. All right, let's take a quick look here and take a look at the charts. So this is the D. This is the RNP Z. So let's take a look here. And let's see, this is the SOTOX transition. So we're going to select that. And then we're going to say routes, activate, and execute. Next, we're going to go to the legs page. We're going to make sure we don't have any. All right, so we do have a discontinuity from Mus to, let's take a quick look here. So this is Nisar. This is Mus. So there is a discontinuity from Mus. So we are going to connect them. So we're going to select SOTOX and go to the previous page, enter it here, and execute. And now we should have cleared all the discontinuities. We can check our flight plan here. Let's take a quick look. I just lost my iPad. Come on. All right, there we go. All right, so let me very quickly here switch this to the flight plan. So we're going to go to plan. And now we can cycle through. So let's go from the beginning. That's Litra, Lamut, Lurga, Liquid, Latam. And this is Topux. And now this is Mus. And now you see this is actually looking pretty much like the approach that we've seen. So if I zoom in a little bit here, let me zoom in a little bit. There. Okay, let me step through now. So now you can see how sharp of a turn this is, right? So this is going to be a really difficult approach, guys, but should be fun. And I think, I'm just thinking that I'm going to make a big mess today. I haven't ever flown this approach before, and I haven't really had the time to test it out. So, yeah. All right, so let me go back here to, let's see here. Plan. No, we want to go to the map. Is this on map now? This is plan. This is map. Okay. And we can increase the range a little bit. There we go. Much better. Perfect. So now we can go to the inperf initialization, performance initialization. And we are going to still need our SimBrief flight plan. So let me come here. You click on gross weight. It will set it up for you. But for the reserve weight, we're going to compute this by adding the alternate with the final reserve, which is about 2.9. I'm just going to say 1,000 here. And the cruise altitude is 37,000 feet, so flight level 370. The cost index is 113. And the cruise winds are 330, 35, 33, and 35. Excellent. Next, we're going to go to takeoff. And we're going to select flaps 5 for the departure. We're going to select the CG, which is 24. Turn those on, and we have now our V speeds. 140 is already set here for us, which is perfect. Right, trim is 4. Let's put this back. We can remove this now from the view and reset our view here as well. All right, so now we can come here and turn on the flight directors. We can set our altitude to 37,000 feet, which is our cruise altitude today for the flight. Perfect. And then the auto brake goes to rejected takeoff. We're going to change the display now to the engine display. We're going to come over here and make sure that the APU is now running. Right, so it's on, it's available. So now we can disconnect everything here. Let me turn on the red beacon light. And as soon as we do that, you'll see that the doors are closing and the jetway is moving away from the aircraft. All right, perfect. Let me come over here now, and we are going to go to the operations, ground, GPU. Oop, I did it again. All right, there we go. All right, so everything's back to normal. Thank God. All right, and we are going to remove the fuel truck, and we are pretty much good to go. Let's go ahead and call the pushback truck. Start push.
Cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
All right, and I think we can, yeah, that's a good position.
Run to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, so this went back to manual for some reason. That one is on auto. We'll see why is this not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so maybe cycle this. No, it doesn't want to go to auto. All right. Okay, let me turn on our fuel pumps. And everything else is good to go here. Hello there, Takey Tecmo. Welcome to Captain. Thank you very much, sir, for the support. Really appreciate it. Very, very kind of you. Really appreciate the support. Dougal McTavish, welcome. Howdy, my friend. Glad to have you here. How are you doing, Rand? Hello, Roy. Hello, Alex.
Okay.
Glad to have you all guys here.
Closed, ready to connect.
Welcome. Don't forget the yaw damper. Yes, sir. Yaw dampers are now on. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. All right. Doesn't want to do it for some reason. Okay. Now, I've had some issues with one of the test flights I've done in Uzbekistan. Where the aircraft doesn't really follow the route. I kept having to do a direct to, like, change it here in the FMC for some reason. So I really am not sure why that is an issue. I think we're good here, so...
Now connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alrighty, and we're going to set the packs to off, and we're going to start with the right engine. I'm curious, do we need to enter the average wind, headwind, or tailwind from the OFB into the Boeing FMC? I think so. All right, so we are good here. We can start the engine. There we go. Listen to those engine sounds, guys. Take it over to the taxi sign, no problem. All right. Let's take a look here, and we can start the left engine now. And we can see here, once you reach this magenta line here, which is about 20% N2, then we can start the engine. There we go. Engine started. And in the meantime, let's set our trim to 4 units. Right, close enough. Texturing again on the aircraft is still lacking in my opinion. As you can see here, very bad texturing here on the aircraft wings. Some parts of it are okay, but again, this aircraft, while updated, while kept current for compatibility with the latest version of X-Plane, I think is still lacking, which is a shame, by the way. But overall, it works okay. So a very enjoyable aircraft, nonetheless. All right, so we have a good start here. We're going to put the engine switches here to continuous.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right, and parking brake is set. And now we can come over here and turn on the packs. Engine bleeds, APU bleed off, and we can turn off the APU and the APU generator. And we are good here. Perfect. We'll just wait now for the pushback truck to clear, and then we're good to go. Let's set our flaps. Flaps 5. Again, the flap animation is, I think, a little bit lacking as well. And you can see the textures here. They're not, they're not the greatest. So definitely the aircraft needs an overhaul in terms of its textures.
We'll see you next time on another flight.
Right. But, at least you can see the slats. But yeah, you can see again the imperfections there in the texturing. Overall, it's okay. This is the passenger cabin. It's all right, but the cockpit looks okay in my view, which is the most important thing. So we are good to go here. Let's turn on the nose light on, and we'll be on our way now. Right, parking brake is released, and let's go. Will this go to auto? It does not want to go to auto. All right, well, we're not going to push it. There's an incoming right there. Lovely. Let's take a look at that landing here. Nice. Okay. All right, let's slow it down a little bit. And here's our turn. You gotta love the shape of the 757. Really nice aircraft. Overall, it looks okay. If you can ignore the bad texturing on the aircraft overall, I think still a very enjoyable aircraft. Let's take taxiway Delta here to our runway. Some funny things there with the scenery, it looks like. And hopefully the aircraft doesn't sink like it does in Microsoft Flight Sim. So hopefully we'll pass through this area here without incident. Yeah, this is X-Plane again. Yeah, this scenery I think needs a little bit of work. Again, it hasn't been updated. I think it needs some work in order to. But I do like what I see for the most part with this scenery here. The heat flare in X-Plane is amazing. All right. All right, everything here looks good, and we are ready. Again, you can see that with this aircraft, there is a lot of shimmer here in this area, and I'm not sure really why. Is it time models? Yes, it is time models. Oop. Sorry guys, I got a cold and I just had to take it. So anyway, we are here looking at taxiway Delta Yankee, so we'll take that. And that should take us all the way to our runway, which is right here. There's a beautiful aircraft coming there to land. All right. Okay. So we are departing just so that I am 09er right. Okay. Okay, Delta, taxiway Delta. Okay. Perfect. All is looking good here. And our flight time today should be approximately 47 minutes. So under an hour. Does the FF75 also comes with the RR engines? Yes, you can select whichever engine you want. So it's got both the Pratt & Whitney and Rolls-Royce. So yeah, you've got both of those at your disposal. All right, here we are. Let's make the turn. And there is 09er right. I love the fact that you get the signage in X-Plane with all default airports. That's really a very welcoming change in X-Plane 12. All right, hold short, runway 09er. Let's turn on the landing lights and the anti-collision lights with the strobe, so you turn on the whites as well. And then we can come here and turn on the runway turn-off lights. We're going to arm the auto throttle. We're going to come here and set TARA. We are going to start our clock. There we go, clock started. And then we're going to reset our view. And off we go. Now, for the 757, the toga button is something that you can either map a joystick button to, or there is this little screw here that you click in order to engage toga. For those of you who are, unfamiliar with the aircraft, that's how you do it. All right, here we are. Very, very nice looking aircraft, the 757. All right, let's line up. All right, and we're good to go. Engines are stable, and toga. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, gears going up. All right, let's make sure that we have the The right pitch. Okay, very good. LNAV, VNAV. Excellent. And autopilot 1 engaged. Why is this not doing what it's supposed to do? All right, perfect. And we can now track the flaps. Can enjoy the photoreal scenery there for a minute. All right, so the transition altitude is 5,000 feet. I'm doing very well. Enzo, how are you doing, my friend? Okay, so we continue the climb. Let's set the altimeter to standard on both sides. And everything now is working exactly as it should. As you can see, we are maintaining 250 knots as we are below 10,000 feet. So the aircraft seems to be respecting the, the restrictions there. Although the FMC is deploying 280, it's actually staying at exactly 250 for the time being, which is what we expect it to do. V Sky Check, welcome aboard. And we have our friend from Taiwan, I believe. Welcome. All right, very cool. So Flight Factor as a company has been around developing for X-Plane for a very long time. As a matter of fact, they are probably the very first aircraft that I purchased for X-Plane 10.3 was the 777. I think it was called Ultimate or something like that at the time. Ooh, I think we have a problem with this guy here. So let me get rid of him. All right. All right, so he's been killed. All right, so 10,000 feet. Let's turn off the lights. This one here has got a problem with the click spot, and I wish that Flight Factor would fix this. This has been an issue ever since this aircraft was released. So Flight Factor has been developing for X-Plane for a very, very long time, and they remained true to this community. I would say that in their beginnings, if I'm completely honest, their support wasn't all that great. But things have really changed in recent years, and I think as developers started maturing more, obviously with age and experience, they started really paying a lot of attention because the competition is very high, and there are the customer service has become an integral part of this business. If you don't support your plane, if you don't answer questions from your customers, then you're more than likely will go out of business, and you'll just really have a very bad name for yourself. So these things have become just as important as developing the actual plane. And Flight Factor, in their very beginnings, I think kind of a little bit, they fell short of providing the top-notch support that they provide today. I really like Flight Factor as a company. I like Ramses, the lead developer. I like his commitment and tenacity, and his resolve to create a very authentic simulation of the 777, which I think is by far one of the best add-ons available today for flight simulation. A very high fidelity representation of the 777, not just in terms of the visuals or the system fidelity, but also from the operational perspective. So a very, very nice aircraft, the 777. FF has improved a lot on all areas, system fidelity, sounds, textures, and even have external engine simulation like hot start. Yeah, they have. They've come a long way, without a doubt. They push evidence very regularly. This they do, Alex. They do. Yeah, I know. Previously, there was a time when Flight Factor just went, very quiet on updates, and then, they came back to it and they started really taking care of their product line, including their A350, which is, by the way, not a bad plane. Again, very, very dated in terms of the textures. Still holds up pretty well, I think, but definitely dated. And the same goes for their 7.5, 7.6. They are, I love the fact that they're maintaining them, they're updating them as X-Plane progresses with different versions. But it remains a fact of matter that those planes are pretty much dated, and they really need improvement in terms of the visuals, in terms of the sounds, just about everything really needs improvement. So, hello there, Mr. Renan de Oliveira. How are you doing? And we have also Cam Davis from the United Kingdom. Welcome, my friend. Speaking of the United Kingdom, my family just got back yesterday, so I'm very happy to have them back. I was alone for a very long time, so I'm glad that they're back from the UK now. And school starts very soon as well for my son. So, let's see. Right, so I actually started a brand new channel. I will send you guys the details of the channel in the community tab at a later time. It's a channel focused on generative AI and tutorials, guides, and things like that. Like, I started with but of course I haven't posted anything yet there. But yeah, I plan on doing another channel there and just share with the community another passion of mine, and hopefully it can be as useful as the Q8 Pilot channel. That with the 777 displays, right? Yeah. 767-300 was a good expansion. Yeah, it was a good expansion without a doubt. And so far, the aircraft seems to be following the FMC correctly, so I'm very happy about that. And you can see a lot of imperfections on the texturing of the aircraft, but guys, look at the sky color in X-Plane. It just is very, very realistic. Unfortunately, we don't have any clouds today, but the sky colors are just amazing in X-Plane. Very, very realistic during any time of day, especially during the golden hour. I love it during the golden hour. It's just the sun reflection, the glow of the sun, the light scattering is just really very, very good. Port Sim Pilot, I really enjoy the Flight Factor 757, but it's a shame I can't get my SATIC panels to work with it. Well, SATIC, I've had a lot of issues. SATIC, the entire SATIC panel, the radio, the yoke, and I think they have a throttle at the time, the rudder pedals. I've had the whole kit and caboodle. And it worked for a while, but it's not a very durable product. It's a very good entry-level product for, flight simulation, but if you're looking for something a little more durable, something a little more realistic, high resolution, that doesn't introduce a lot of noise, I definitely do not recommend SATIC. Their products are just not that good. So, yeah, I don't recommend SATIC products. If you're if you're starting, if it's a good entry level. but at some point you'll find that it will break, that, you know, it doesn't work. I've had a lot of issues with their rudder pedals. So yeah, so it was a departure when I actually replaced the Satic rudder pedals. I replaced everything. I just made a heavy investment and just bought brand new stuff. So 12.2 really made the sky basically perfect. Yes. Updates are free. Only major updates, like when transitioning to X-Plane 13, you pay small fee. That is correct. Just again, I'm so gonna get here, but so when I get the Flight Factor 767 or any of the Flight Factor airplanes, from my personal opinion, especially 476757, I'm sticking with the old display. Well, yeah, that's something you can do for sure. I'm currently en route with the latest INI 350 ULR from Amsterdam to Singapore. So the Steam is a nice in-flight entertainment option. Huh. Happy flying, Roy. All right, less than 10,000 feet to go. And if we look here at our flight plan, so today the FMC and the aircraft is behaving, maybe because it knows it's on stream and it's being streamed to you guys. So far so good. We'll see if it holds up to that. Now, one thing I recommend that you do not do with this Flight Factor 757. When you are in the external view, do not change the time using the Shift L and K keys, because if you do that, it will ruin all your displays in the cockpit. They will turn half black, some of them will not work, and then you'll have to pop them here to be able to land, because you're not going to be able to see anything. So that's one thing not to do when flying this aircraft. Hello there, Mr. Valero. Mr. Carl Childers, welcome aboard. You know, Carl, I was looking over the, you know, your trusted simulations. Is the wing texture a livery or an aircraft thing? I don't know. Maybe it's a livery, Trusted Simulations. And thank you very, very much for 11 months of support here on the channel. It might be a livery thing. I don't know. We can definitely test it once we arrive. We'll switch to the house livery, Flight Factor house livery, and we'll take a look. How about that? Carl, I was looking over, you know, I was just thinking about, you know, where did you come up with this name and the picture that you're using? And it actually made me laugh when I figured out, you know, where you got this, you know, nickname from. Very unlike you, but but yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. Now, Airfoil Labs recently posted new pictures of their 737 MAX, apparently the very first livery of the Airfoil Labs 737 MAX. I'm really, really excited about that aircraft, guys. I really am looking forward to it, and it looks like they are making considerable progress in a very short amount of time. So definitely something to look forward to in the X-plane space. Mr. Mohan, I was flying the Flight Factor 777. Yeah, a great, great aircraft. I flew from Dubai to SFO. I reached top of climb at 41,000 feet. After the TOD was encountered, the plane didn't come down several flight level before coming down to 800 to capture the GS localizer. Ooh, wow. Is that an angle of attack indicator on the lower right part of the PFD? I believe so, yes. Yeah, that is more than likely the vertical speed, yeah. Yeah. Right, so another 5,000 feet. Here's our top of climb. You can see it right there. I like it when the shadows are on the displays here, the darker part of the ship, because this here looks, I don't know, looks really strange. How is the 777 compared to the 767 in your opinion? Whoops, there's no comparison. There's really no comparison. The 777 by flight factor is by far the best aircraft available today, only second to the hot start Challenger 650 in terms of the fidelity of the systems. But it is I think at par with the I think better from the Fly JSON Q400. Of course, very different planes, but just in terms of the fidelity, you really can't go wrong with their flight factor. Amazing aircraft. That was a long flight, and I'm going to try again today. I have flown the A380 to Dubai and back a couple of times. Oh, I see. Wow, you're into really long flights, aren't you? Yeah, the 777 wins for sure. No doubt. Look at the contrails in X-Plane. Very, very cool. Right. 18 minutes into the flight, and we are we are about 27 minutes, by the way, from the about 30 minutes exactly from the from Nice. So not much longer left for the flight, and you can see that the sun is setting far in the distance there, so it should make for a really interesting approach into Nice this evening. Speaking of that, let's very quickly take a look at the weather in Nice. Let's take a quick look here. So 196 knot wind, not bad. And the most important thing is the visibility. So visibility is really good. Current temperature is 29. Ooh, quite warm, isn't it? And QNH 100 now, no significant change in the next couple of hours. Okay, so shouldn't be that dramatic in terms of weather, but let's see how well I handle this approach. Fingers crossed. If you like Boeing, get the Zebo for sure. The 146 on sale, Boeing get the sale, might have to pick that up as well. I agree with you there, Max. The 146 by Just Flight is a great aircraft. Right. So we are at 37,000 feet. We have reached now our cruise altitude, and things are looking good. Look at the sky color. They're beautiful horizon here in X-Plane. I do want to apologize to any of you guys who've been commenting on some of my videos and streams lately. I know that I have not been very responsive. I do try to answer the questions I feel are new and that I haven't answered before, either on stream or on videos, or for comments that were not addressed as full tutorial videos. So those kind of questions, I try as much as possible to answer them, but time is something that I don't have much of lately. So I do apologize, guys. I try my best to answer all the questions that I receive. Sometimes I just can't. And definitely emails is something that I am definitely lagging behind as well. So I really do apologize for that. I'm thinking about buying the Duchess 76. It's just 22 euros. You will not regret the Duchess purchase, Mr. Valero. A very cool aircraft. How do I send a direct message to you, Q8? I'm not able to figure that out in the Discord server. Well, Mohan, you can always send an email to info@q8pilot.com. Chances are I will check this twice a week, so it depends. I don't have a particular day where I check the email. I normally get notifications that I have emails, and I check them twice, maybe sometimes 3 times a week. So that's probably the best bet, that your message won't get lost. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Appreciate it, my friend. Click his name, you get a pop-up, and there you can DM that. That's another way. Yeah, DMs are also, they always get my attention because they're not in the mainstream channels on Discord. So you can definitely do that as well if you like. And I'll try my very best to answer you in the fastest possible manner. Right. So here, let's take a quick tour of the cockpit. And for that, we are going to, let's see, can we open the door? Well, that's all right. Let me just go there, right there. All right. So if I look at the textures of the cockpit, of the cabin, they're actually not bad. They're not great at all. I cannot say this is wow. So yeah, but they are representative of a passenger cabin. And for me, that's the most important thing, is that, you know, that everything is representative. And by the way, if the aircraft had no cabin at all, I wouldn't mind it either. And the 777, you have that option. There are two versions that ship with the Flight Factor 777, which is one has no cabin, and that's basically to save a little bit on performance for, you know, low-end machines or medium-end machines that don't have a lot of VRAM to use. It definitely will save you a little bit of resources there for better experience. But yeah, it's all right. Not great, but it's okay. For me, at least, it works. All right.
Unable to find view ID 1.
Why is that? What happened here? All right, let's go to 1. I'm not sure what happened. Let's go to camera 2. Yeah, we lost the captain camera. I think I must have assigned it by mistake. So let me come back here and let's set our field of view. So we are going to do that. We'll bring it back just a notch. And let's see, do we have? All right, so that's there. That's about right there. And we'll say save camera. All right, so number 1. And now if I go to number 1, takes me back. Perfect. Okay. All right, let's take a quick look at our flight here. So let's see. Next page here. So TD, if we go to progress page, the top of descent is in 175 nautical miles. Still quite a way before we arrive into our destination. And if we come here, we can, yeah, as you can see here, there's no ILS, but we're going to put 30 and 128 for the speed. And yeah, and then we're good. And we'll see what happens when we arrive. I'm still in the process of getting X-Plane 12 set up. Mostly use MS-24, but love how X-Plane feels. And the clouds are insane. Plus, what the team is doing in X-Plane is amazing. Absolutely. I definitely second the recommendation there from Alex. X-Organizer is a really, really very, very useful team. Flight Factor Boeing 722 is the max. I think that's an old convention they used to use, but I'm not sure. You can just type !aircraft and you'll get the link to it on the X-Plane org store where you are able to purchase the aircraft. Right, let me give you this view here, which I really like. You can see the entire cockpit, and here you can see that actually it looks pretty good, pretty decent. You know, the overhead panel texturing, you know, the instrument panel here, the displays. Overall, it looks very representative of the 757 cockpit. But when I compare this to the real-world footage of the aircraft, then it's a little bit, you know, different. And by the way, if you wanted to change the avionics, you can always come to the electronic flight bag here and you go to options, avionics, and now you can see here, you know, what you want to change here. So you can change these. So this is the upgrade. So range arc, V-speed semi-auto, minimus callouts, and then the ECAS is also something you can change. You can go to the, let's see here. You can change also the PIP FMC is very important, so I'll leave that. You can do the blue ECAS, ATT on command. So there are a few options here, but this is how you can remove this upgrade if you don't want it. And then you can use the FF displays here as well on the ECAS. You can put also tire pressure, compact data display. So you can play with this, and it does have, by the way, PA as well, so you can go click on this and it will play it out. You have to failure scenarios as well, so you can create, enable, and disable those as you so wish. You also have from the sim settings here, shake on turbulence, metric weight, throttle clock, realistic sound. That doesn't really do much, but real WX, radar, advanced wind shear, use pushback. I have all of these turned on. And then you have also your advanced sound, which you can manipulate there to, you know, bring the sounds down to your liking. And then you have the effects parameter. So you can, this is already set. You can also do custom effects if you want to do that. You can display the AA level here and the lighting effect. You can change all of that. And then you have the Lua JIT compilation there, as you can set this to either enable or disable. You do have charts as well, and you can go to the checklist as well. You have the amplified checklist or the normal checklist, and you can do the auto perform. So it has some really nice features there. If you use the amplified, you can actually, once you do something, it turns green here. So it kind of helps you go through the checklist because the amplified one is quite long, it's quite lengthy. So yeah, you get to, you know, go through that using the EFB, which is pretty cool. Right. There we are. Progress, 138 nautical miles before we reach Nice. And the approach course into Nice is going to be 22 right, and we selected 22 right, and we selected the Zulu. All right, so let me see here. Yes, Sotox. Okay, so the approach course is 223. So we're just going to set 223. .223 is set, and we're going to set it here as well. All right, so that's the approach course, and perhaps we can put this VOR here. All right. So France, this is the airspace, this is the nav ID. So let's click on that. It is a VOR DME facility with a frequency of 109.65. All right, so 109.65. Okay, we'll put that here. We'll leave that one on auto for the time being, and that should help us with guidance when we arrive into Nice. You can see we are coming up on the mountainous terrain here. There, you can see that. And you can see the mountains far in the distance, which looks pretty cool in the X-plane. All right. JK Pilot, hi Q8, many thanks for your channel. Well, sir, thank you for being here and for the support and for making it an interactive spot for us flight simmers to come here and chat and have fun. I appreciate your contributions. Is your X-plane not crashing when using 757, 767? No, you have to update to the latest version, Roberto. So use the X updater from Flight Factor in order to ensure that you have the latest version, and it should be fine. X-plane is a lot cheaper than MSFS. Yeah. Enhanced, let's see here. Thronda planes are on sale now. Ooh, cool. They do make some great airplanes for sure, Thronda. So the developer of Thronda was a former Carenado developer, and that is seen in some of the visuals. So they do create some nice visuals. But the best visuals I have seen in X-Plane is by Arabesque. They're the fidelity, they're just really next level in terms of the visuals. Right, I'm going to let you guys enjoy this wing view. I need to step away for just a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes, and I will be right back. And we are back. And you can see here, again, as we approach this mountainous terrain in France, the sun is definitely setting now. Auto-ortho downloads. Nope, I'm not. I'm using default. And I'll tell you, from 37,000 feet, let me just show you guys here real quick. From 37,000 feet, I think things look very believable. I mean, they're not photoreal textures, but from this altitude, I don't think it really matters too much. You can see the haze in the horizon there. You can see the terrain, you know, the mountainous terrain here. So, yeah, the closer you get to the ground, the uglier it looks. But overall, from this altitude, I think things are, you know, they look pretty nice, pretty convincing. They're not by any chance photoreal or realistic, but not bad. Really not bad. All right. If we look now here, we are 78 nautical miles from top of descent, so we should expect the top of descent in about 10 minutes from now. And yeah, I really am loving the sky colors there. Very, very nice indeed. Hey, Jesse, how are you doing, my friend? Thanks very much for the support. Really appreciate it. So there's something I do want to share with you guys, and I think it's important that I kind of sharing this with you, and as it has always been the case, that I've been very transparent with you guys. I have been developing content for flight simulation for well over 10 years now. So I started in 2015, and the channel has grown to a really huge following, something I really never thought of. I definitely never thought of reaching 1,000, and then I never, thought that I would reach 10, and then 50, and then 60, all the way to more than 100,000 subscribers on the channel. Not all of them are active and actively watching the channel, but nonetheless, the channel has grown over the years. It has amassed huge following and viewership. And for everything that this channel has done for me, I tell you guys, every day when I get in the car and go to work, on my way to work, I just do my self-reflection session. And I say, I am very, very grateful for all the people that made this possible, for all the people that made it fun, useful, and really a venue for people to either come and have fun or learn something new. And I am very humbled that I was able to inspire many into becoming real-world pilots. So all in all, after 10 years, it starts, to get a little bit old, to be honest. And I haven't been really able to do what I used to do in the beginning, which is the detailed and short tutorials where I explain things to you guys. And for two reasons. One is it does take a lot of time, and number two is the saturation. So there is a lot of people that are now content creators for flights, and there's a ton of them. Should I follow the video that you posted for Performance Boost? Absolutely, Ryan. Yeah, it should work very well. So basically, I'm starting to get a little bit, I wouldn't say the word bored, but I'm starting to get to the point where I feel that maybe I'm repeating myself, and I do know that you guys value my opinion very much, and I do understand these things, and I do understand the huge responsibility on my shoulders when it comes to the channel. And I promise you guys, I'm not saying this because I am, preparing you for like a farewell or anything like that. I'm just being very genuine and sharing with you what I feel after 10 years of creating content. I feel like I'm ready for something a little bit newer, something maybe a change. And for this reason, I created this other channel, for doing tutorials and things on AI, because I think that's the future. And you want to remain current with these things and be able to contribute to the community. So repetition makes people learn better. Your latest 300 FPS tutorial changed my whole MSFS experience. I'm very glad to hear that. So guys, again, I really appreciate your support, and I understand that you value the stuff that I do. Otherwise, trust me, I wouldn't be creating videos just for the sake of creating videos. I do understand it. But like I said, I'm just being very genuine, very transparent in telling you what I'm feeling. And I will be very honest with you also. I still get those hate comments, and although I've developed very thick skin for these things over the years, not just on the channel, but generally speaking in my personal life, it does still it still gets to you sometimes. And it's like, I just, for the most part, I ignore it. I get as much out of the chat as at the event, for sure, Mohan. the guys here, Dougal, Alex, Rand, Carl, they're all just Stan, are just really amazing people. I am very, very fortunate. I think this is like the best moderator team that anyone can assemble, and I'm very, very happy to have them. They're all really very dear friends for me, of mine, and so yeah. Again, this is not. I'm not really saying goodbye, guys, or anything like that. I will continue to create content every Tuesday, every Saturday, when time permits. Sometimes it's difficult because I have other commitments, so I will switch the days, but I'll let you know in each stream that I'm switching the days. So why do people hate? Why is there hate? I really don't know. Just there's a lot of hate in this world for some reason. I really don't get it. But yeah, I do get a lot of these hate comments still. I went and looked over the total number of people that I blocked in 10 years. You guys will be surprised that I actually only blocked 5 people. And those were the comments that they put were really, really bad. Like it's not appropriate for others to read them. Otherwise, I'm pretty much okay with everything. People sometimes they come and say it's like, you don't know what you're doing. You're this, you're that. It's mistake here, mistake there, and I don't mind it. It's okay for people to come and criticize. That's okay. Maybe it's good for me also, so I go and learn. For the most part, I've learned from these comments as well. So I think they're good for others as well to come and read them and learn from the mistakes that I've done. I think we are, reset to MCP altitude. All right, so we are going to reset the MCP altitude now as we are approaching top of descent. And I believe that the platform altitude is 4,000 feet, but let's just double check on that real quick. Let's see. No, it's actually 2,000 feet. All right, so there's 2,000 feet, and we're good. Okay. I wouldn't call it hate, more like jealousy. It could be. I'm not going to really label it, but some of the comments that I've received over the years were really hurtful. So I understand that it's like an anonymous person. It's like some, man in the basement commented, and then you go and read the comment. It's like, my God, why would somebody write something like that? It's like an attack on the person in the most horrendous way. It's like why do people? Sometimes I just don't fathom why people can be so mean for no good reason. But yeah, so. I really wanted to share that with you guys. Again, this is not, I want to stress the importance of this. This is not farewell. This is not goodbye. I'm not going anywhere. I'll continue to create content for you guys. I'll continue to review, add-ons for Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane. I will, as much as possible and to the best of my ability, remain unbiased like you've been accustomed to over the past 10 years. I'll try to do that as much as possible, and I hope that I can continue to deliver value to the Flight Sim community. Looking forward to the new AI channel. It's already done. I'll send the I'll probably test it out with you guys first, and then I'm really curious what new channel is about then. It's about AI. You need to do what you like. Flight Sim burnout is real thing. Callum from FS Elite got it as well at one time, QA. Yeah, that's for sure. Some people just enjoy tearing other people down, make them feel better. Just help them. I guess so. Ooh.
If so many people, writers hate / are jealous, you are doing something good.
Well, Alex, thank you very much for your support, my friend. I really appreciate your generosity coming in with 11.99 euros, and thank you for the beautiful support message there. Really appreciate it, Alex. Thank you. We can see that we have begun the descent, ladies and gents, now, and we are slightly high for the current sector, but that is going to be corrected as we continue our descent towards Nice, and things are looking okay so far. So, so the aircraft has done exactly what it should so far in this flight. I have been in IT for almost 40 years. Let me know if you need any help with your new channel. Thank you very much, Mohan. I've been in IT just for as long as you have. So yeah. So maybe, yeah, I've been there for 30, not 40 years. Yeah, I'm just a little less than you, so about 10 years less than you. But yeah, I've been around the block, as they say. He's from Kuwait. Surprise, surprise. Yes, sir. 30 years at it as well. Wow, lots of IT guys, lots of music lovers, sim lovers. What a great place to be. I really tell you guys, one of the things I really look forward to is really talking to you guys in chat. I think it's a wonderful experience to be able to, to see you guys here in chat. And I almost sometimes I wonder about you guys, when I'm like driving to work in the morning, doing my self-reflection, and I think about the channel. It's like I wonder, I had for the first time I see this guy from Taiwan. I wonder what he's doing now. It's like I think about you guys, and and it's. It's really fun. I think about a lot of the people. There was a guy by the name of John Frederick Lilly, I believe, from France. And this guy was a regular on the channel when I first started, up to about 2,000 subs, maybe 5,000 subs. And then the guy disappeared for many years. Then he messaged me, or he commented on one of the videos. He said, "Hey, Q8, no long time. Just want to let you know that, I think he became a pilot, or he's working in the aviation industry of some sort, something in the aviation industry. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, I always think about those guys. I think about you guys. It's like, I wonder what they're doing and how's it like, and how did they come into liking flight simulation? What did they type to get the channel? What are their expectations? Things like that. So it's definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm in IT as well. Ooh. Ginger Ninja, QA engineer, but in sports tech. I see. By the way, I missed the beginning. Do 75 still fly today? I think they do. Yeah, there is through my search, when I was searching for a route to fly the 757, I found out that there are definitely still Delta Airlines is still flying the 757. As a matter of fact, check this out. Delta has a flight from JFK to LaGuardia, and the cruise altitude for that flight is 3,000 feet, and that flight still operates today. I was really stunned. I was actually going to do that flight, but then I thought maybe you guys are going to be pissed. It's going to be a very short flight. So I had seen documentary about Kuwait. Did not know that the hottest day in the year is almost 60 Celsius. Yes. Yeah, very, very hot. Delta, yeah, Delta does for sure. Would you guys say the A350 is worth the price for X-Plane 12? No, not at this point, no. Before I become a teacher, I studied IT at the university. Then I've always been the IT guy at every school I've been at. Oh, very cool. God, you have two of my passions, IT and teaching. You're a lucky man. Blows my mind. 3,000 feet cruise. Yeah, exactly. United flies the 757, although retiring all of them soon. I see. Right, so we are at 20,000 feet. We are now at the correct altitude for the current sector, and you can see that the sun is definitely setting. It's going to make for a really beautiful approach into Nice, hopefully I don't make a mess out of the landing, though. Don't forget the music part. Yes, of course, the music part. I love music. So recently, I'll tell you guys, if you want to experiment with music, here's a quick tip for you guys. You can go to a site, www.suno, I believe .ai. Just Google it, Suno. Suno is a AI platform that will compose music for you. So you can give it lyrics and you can give it the music style, and then you can change a few settings and it will produce mind-blowing music. Just very, very nice. As a matter of fact, some of the singers now are not hiring bands anymore. They just actually go in and they tell, Suno to create songs for, not Suno, but they use AI to create their songs. But Suno is a really nice platform. It's a lot of fun. What I normally do is I actually bring in my Arabic oud or instrument and I play the song for it, and I then ask him to reimagine it with the full orchestra and things like that. So yeah, I know that one. That is very cool. Yeah, it is very cool. Yeah, you can go and have a play with it. It should be fun. Should be good fun. Don't forget to check the liveries after landing. I will do that. I will do that. Right. So we are at 17,000 feet. And this is what things look like during this time of the day. And you can see the beautiful sky color here as we make our way into Nice in France in this pencil airplane in the Air France livery. By the way, you can even change the wings here. So this is one shape that you can have, but you can change this also from the menu. I think you can access this even during flight in the EFB. I'm not sure where. Airplane, dynamic wind, winglets. There you go. So if I remove winglets and you go to the outside, now you have no winglets. And I think, honestly, I think this looks better without the winglets. What do you guys think? I think it looks nicer, huh? Yeah, much, much nicer. And then there are a few things also you can do. So the auto gear lever, dynamic blinds, wing flex. You can adjust the wing flex, the reflections, and the effects. And you can also change the type of engines, Pratt & Whitney or Rolls-Royce. And you can change this, by the way, on the go, so you don't really have to reload the plane. It will just switch the engines and switch the sounds as well. All right. So we are almost there now. And we are looking good. 14,000. We're definitely getting very close. That's the sea right there in front of us. So Nice is somewhere right over there. So, or the airport is right over there. And you can see already that this is really looking nice. Look at this. And from the pilot perspective, I think this looks really nice. Nothing photoreal here, by the way, but still looks good. You can see the clouds there in the distance. Very nice rendering of the clouds in X-Plane. Right, let me change our... all right, so that's where we are. We're going to make the turn there. Okay, perfect. Almost there now, folks. And I'm going to set the auto brake to 2. And we're going to arm the speed brakes. And we're going to make sure that we're going to actually leave these here on auto. And by the way, we should turn this off here. We'll leave these on auto. Okay, your dampers are on. Everything here is looking good. Perfect. Okay. FMC message. It must be once drag. Okay, so let's extend the speed brakes and slow the aircraft down. So far, it's doing exactly what it should do. And let me just note our final speed. So if we go to init 128. 122, flight, yeah, 127, yeah, that's close enough. All right, so drag required. Right, we are at 250 knots. And now we can, let's see here. Right, there we go. All right. And we should begin descending shortly again. All right, let's see how much more we've got. Ah, we've got, right, from Sotix. So we are okay. So we've got 12, 40, that's 51, 61, 64, 64, and arc left. Okay. So 64 and 66. So we're quite okay in terms of the altitude. Look at those sky colors, guys. Wow. Very nice indeed. I think I like the no winglets a lot better. And you can also notice the wing flex there as well. Right, things are getting dark, so let's bring up the panel lights, floodlights. And the map. We're going to come over here. And the standby instruments will lit this up. Glare shield. All right. And we have the cockpit lighting now. Again, as you can see, it looks really, really good with the cockpit lighting. Right, let's take a quick look here. We are now heading over to Sotox. So we should begin the descent shortly. There we go. We've begun the descent, as you can see here. All right. So we're doing okay here in terms of the descent. 36 nautical miles, we should be fine. We're descending at about 1,000 feet per minute. Let me take a look here. What is X-plane doing? Vertical speed. It's actually 2,000. So we are not descending at the right rate. We need to descend a little bit faster. So I'm going to go to vertical speed and increase our rate of descent to 2,000 feet per minute. And we'll extend the speed brake there a little bit to maintain the speed. We are at 10,000 feet. Landing lights are on. And we need to come here to click the click spot here. All right, perfect. And now we are looking good. The airport is very close. That's the airport right there. You can see the two runways. This is 04 left and 04 right. And runway 22 left and right are on the other side. So we're going to come this way and land the plane. All right, perfect. All right, let's take a quick look here. So this is Sotox. Yeah, we need to be at 4, then above 0. So there is one restriction at Manax. At 3,000, we need to be above 3,000. We still have about 28 nautical miles, so it should be sufficient for us to clear until 3,000 feet. And then we'll make the turn, the arc, for the RNP approach here at runway 22 right. 22 right. Yep, 22 right. Okay. Let me increase the range here a little bit. There we go. I think we can reduce the rate of descent to 1,500 feet. All right. All is good. Oops. What the hell? This is the first time that I see... Guys, look what happened. I just broke the... Wow. I never knew that this actually exists, that this button actually doesn't work. I didn't know that this... Look at that. And look at this spring count. I never actually thought that this exists. I kept messing around with it, and we lost it. Yeah. That's funny. That's really funny. I never knew that this actually existed in this aircraft, but I tell you, this is really funny. It tells you that the aircraft is pretty old. All right, so here we are. What a beautiful approach here into Nice. Hopefully we can bring the aircrafts on the ground without too much incident here. We are at 6,000 feet for 2,000, and we still have sufficient. We have 19 nautical miles still, so we are doing okay. We're a bit low for the current sector, but that's all right. And yeah, look at the beautiful lighting in X-Plane. One of the things I think that again X-Plane excels in is the beautiful lighting. Looks just phenomenal. Very, very nice. And we can see the boats there, all kinds. Here there's, and they actually move according to specified routes. So very, very cool. And you get also the effect there. Very, very nice. Really, X-Plane is really coming along very nicely. Okay, so that's really cool. And you click it again, it kind of keeps jumping. Okay, let's, we need to set the altimeter to, let's see, 1009, or 1009 or 2980. 1009. 1009 is set. And I'm going to go back to VNAV. And we're going to come here and set this also to hectopascal. And we are going to change this to 1009. Brilliant. And now we're looking good. We are at exactly 4,000 feet. And I'm going to decrease the range here so we can see exactly what we're doing right there. Perfect. 234, 240. What are the speeds here? 240, then 240, then 200, 170. And check alt target. No, alt target is fine. Now you can see this here. I think, I'm not sure which one of these buttons. Is it this one? No. Yeah. No, this is the airport. I think one of them will take you to the, all right. So we're coming up to our turn. And now we want to be at, above 3,000, so we are at 4513, and then we'll begin the descent, I suppose. Right, so far so good. 24 nautical miles, okay. So we've got the VOR station there, again for... I'm not sure if it's going to work now because this button is completely broken. So we'll see what happens. Q8 uses X camera, yeah. Hello, Aviation Geek. Welcome aboard, my friend. All right. We are coming up to our turn. And the speed is 240 knots. Look at this. Look at this beautiful turn here. Wow. Looks really, really nice. Right, so far so good. There's a tanker there, sailing away. All right. Now the fun begins. As we approach the airport, we can see that we are descending now once more. And I will probably disconnect the autopilot a little sooner than 1,000. Just so that I think we need to extend the speed brake here to slow the aircraft down. Down to 200. There we go. 1,000 feet to go. Very nice approach into Nice. And the airport is somewhere right over there, I believe.
2,500.
All right, we're going to level off now at 2,000. 200 knots. Let's bring this back. All right, perfect. And we're going to go flaps 5. And we want 2 right. Okay. And let's see here, 170. Yeah. Now this is a very, very sharp turn into the airport. And if we look back here, so that's, the airport is right over there. So a very sharp turn into the approach there for 2 right. And I'm going to decrease the range one more time here. I think this is the maximum. Okay, 170. And we're going to go gear down and flaps 20. Approach. I don't think that approach is going to work. Let me adjust my throttle. We want about 128 knots. Okay, I'm going to... We are at exactly 2,000. So I'm going to go vertical speed here. Give me the... Right, what do we have here? 160, okay. Alright, let's go to 128. There we go, 128. And there's the runway. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. Let me first set the FMC message, check altitude target. Okay, let us go ahead and disconnect the autopilot, and unfortunately you can only do it here. So I'm going to disconnect the autopilot now. And I want to shoot for About 128. All right, here's the turn. That's the runway. Flaps are full. Nah, that wasn't right. All right. 500 feet. Come on. And reversers. Ladies and gents, welcome to Nice. Like a GA plane. All right, reversers are out, and we are in one piece. A bit unstable, if you ask me. That's 2 to left. Yeah, it is. We should have done 2 to right. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I actually made the turn for 2 to right. I'm not sure why I landed on 2 to left. All right, but anyway, we can take a look here. All right. There we go. Let's see. Wow, this is a beautiful, beautiful replay here. Look at the rudder there. Wow, X-Plane is amazing. God, I love X-Plane, guys. We'll check deliveries, don't worry. Really, really, really like the... There, let's do it there. We'll do a few more replays there. Maybe we'll take it to where the... Yeah, there. Yeah, let's take a look at that. So actually the turn was the right turn for 2 to right, but then it probably would have been a much more stable approach. That's really, really cool, guys, I have to say. It would have been a perfect ride. Yes, Alex, for sure. But yeah, for some reason, I kept reminding myself it's 2 to right, and then I landed on 2 to left. That was really, really cool, though. The turn, look at that. Wow. X-Plane is just beautiful. Actually, let me see if we can... Yeah, I think this one here... Alright, let's do a... Guys, look at the beautiful lighting. Look at the sky colors. Just amazing. I think I disabled X camera. There we go. I promise you this is the last one. It was just really, really nice. Very, very cool. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the lighting there, the brightness of the lights in the distance. Looks gorgeous. Wow. Alright, we'll come here. No more replay mode. Okay, and let's see here. We'll go to the far end there and cross over there, and we can retract the flaps. Let's go and start the APU gen on, and let's start the APU. And let's see. Off, and we'll leave the nose light. God, I hate those lights here, the click spot. Alright, there we go. Disarm. Not sure this is the right way, but yeah, that's fine. I don't think this is a taxiway. But guys, this is a default Nice airport for X-Plane, and I tell you, it looks really, really good for being a default airport. One of the nicest default airports in X-Plane is this one here in Nice. I highly recommend that you take a look at it if you have X-Plane. Just go and take a look at it. Very, very nice airport. All right. That turn into this runway was really, really cool. And I think I could have done a lot better. Thank you very much, Mohan. Appreciate it. Alright, let's see. We can take Bravo. Let's take 54 Alpha. No, wait. Let's take... there we go. 52 Charlie. Okay, we're going to turn off the nose light, not to blind the crew on the ground. There we go. And there you have it. Parking brake is now set. Very nice light. All right, so you guys wanted me to check the livery. So I'm going to come here and select the, let's see. Where's the house livery? Delta default. All right, so let's say apply. Okay, and then we're going to take a look at the wing. Yeah, actually it's not a livery thing, so the textures are really bad on the Flight Factor 757. And we discovered something new, that this switch is, ooh, we just put it back in its place. What do you know? All right, perfect. Okay, so here we are. We are going to turn off the engines. Now, I think we have, yeah, we do have the APU generator, so APU bleed is on. Yeah, APU bleed is good. And now we can bring the engines to the off position. All right. Things are flickering there. We have the APU running. Engine bleeds off. And we can now turn off the beacon lights and the position light. And we are ready to disembark from the aircraft. And that is it, really, ladies and gents. Very, very nice flight today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. It's been really a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the interaction with all of you. It's been really, really a challenging approach. And I know we landed on the wrong runway, but nonetheless, it made for a spectacular approach into Nice, France. Well, folks, this brings us to the conclusion of our live stream this evening. And I will see you guys again next Saturday. Maybe before that, I will try my best to schedule something either Tuesday or Wednesday. Sorry, not Saturday. So either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on my schedule. So I will see you again Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll post in the community tab and let you know, guys, exactly when I'm going to stream next. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in and have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now.